So we recently just took a trip to Maine. Myself to take a bunch of photos, shoot film. Claire to unwind and enjoy delicious food. Also to come back with the most amazing and ridiculous souvenirs ever. Like a ship bell!
We're the best neighbors ever.
What's up, guys? So, we're off to Maine. Vacation!
Vacation mode.
Alright guys, well, after a 9.5, 10-hour drive, we are in Maine. Look at this view. Golly day, it is spectacular. So anyway, we're getting ready, settling in. It's like 5:30, 6 o'clock at night, so we're gonna go grab some dinner. Heading out to dinner, I'm going to take the Leica M4 with me. I've got a roll of Kodak T-Max 400 in it, and I'm going to bring a roll of Kodak Portra 800 because we are losing sunlight pretty fast, and I want some nice shots. So, yeah. Welcome to Maine. I love the minimalist style of this shot. This was one of my favorite photos in the black and white. I love all of the leading lines. The horizontal is nice, but the vertical is definitely the stronger of the two pictures. And for dinner, what else but sushi? I love how this image came out. The black and white added more drama to the image and created more visual interest in the subject. Alright guys, good morning. Well, day 2. We're getting ready, we're gonna go grab some coffee, and then we're gonna spend the day exploring Boothbay Harbour and probably Wiscasset, however you say it. Last night I only ended up shooting the T-Max 400 on the Leica and a couple digital shots. The Kodak Portra 800, I couldn't get it to load properly, and while getting stressed out and frustrated and messing with it, I accidentally rewound it back into the cartridge. So I have to extract that, but I don't have that tool with me today, so I'm not gonna be able to shoot that roll while we're here. Now real fast, going over what we brought with us: our Sekonic light meter, the Leica M4 with the Voigtlander 40mm, a little Leica mini zoom, little point and shoot, my Bronica SQ with an 80mm f2.8, a 50mm f3.5, a 65mm f4, and a 180mm f4.5 with a couple different film backs. Also, tons of film. I loaded the Leica with the Sensia 200. Now, mind you, that roll of film was expired, and I don't know how it was kept before I got it. As you can tell from this, it had a very heavy magenta cast, which I removed during scanning. This was one of my favorite shots on the Sensia. I just love the composition and the color and how everything came out. Now, after taking some pretty fun and interesting photos in Boothbay, we headed to lunch. Got ourselves some lobster rolls over at McSeagull's. The view from lunch was spectacular.
You ready to keep going?
So much gear.
So much gear.
Okay. Alright, so right now we are shooting some 120 film with the Bronica. Right now I have a Portra 400 in here, and I am just shooting this beautiful seascape out here. 1000. Let's see here. I love how these first shots came out from the Bronica. The Portra 400 film is vibrant and beautiful color, but it's kind of pastel-y, especially like with these sailboats. I love this shot. As we led into evening, I took some shots of the boats on the water as the sun was starting to set. Now, I will be honest, it was not this dramatic. On these shots, I left some of that magenta tone in the Sensia film in the scans because I really liked the character and I really liked the look that it gave to the images. This was our sunset waterside view from dinner. We got delicious drinks and super delicious food. And I wrapped up the Sensia roll of film by shooting a couple portraits of Claire.
Alright. We just had the most delicious dinner ever at the sunset. And Michael is getting this gorgeous what's left of the sunset. The blue light.
We have this beautiful night scene right here with some residual light from sunset kind of rocking that blue hour kind of light. It is gorgeous. Alright, so right now we have a Portra 400 in the camera. We're shooting this beautiful scene, but we are running into the shutter speed is getting slower than 1 second. Now, I emphasize this because this is when we start running into, in film photography, something called reciprocity failure. What that means is the longer the film is exposed to light, the less sensitive it becomes, and so it takes a longer time. There's calculators for this, things you can do. There's an app you can download and stuff like that, so you don't have to like know it or memorize it or perform the math. But basically in this calculator, it'll show you if the meter reads 2 seconds, the exposure is actually 3 seconds to account for the sensitivity failure. Reciprocity failure, sensitivity failure. So you kind of have to shoot for longer than the meter says to make up for it. Every film stock is going to have a slightly different reciprocity failure and a different threshold where it starts. But that's kind of what we're dealing with right now.
So what are you shooting right now?
Right now I'm shooting this scene. I am shooting at, the meter is reading currently 2 seconds. That's probably going to change in a second. So I'm actually shooting at 3 seconds.
Gotcha.
So after shooting those blue light hour photos, we headed back to the resort. The night was so clear that I went down onto the pier and I shot this image. I also got this shot of the Milky Way. What's up, guys? This is day 3 in Maine, and we're going to be heading out to Acadia, spending the day up in Acadia and Bar Harbour, so it's going to be a lot of fun. But before we get into any of that, you guys know, what's up. You know what's up. We got to go get some coffee. So, let's go. Oh, flare.
Oh, that flare. Oh, yeah. Coffee acquired.
Coffee acquired.
Let's go.
After we arrived in Bar Harbour, we found this path like right off the parking lot that led down to this little beach right on the water. It was so spectacular. And I decided I wanted to take some pictures of Claire, so I pulled out the Leica M4, and I also pulled out the Leica Mini Zoom, took a couple shots with that. I love how these images came out. After taking those photos, I thought it would be a perfect time to get some beautiful drone footage of Acadia. So we went ahead and launched from Bar Harbour, and I was blown away by the view. And catch. So we went to this local place called Blaze and got some really delicious food for lunch. After lunch, we explored Bar Harbour a little bit, took a few photos, and did some shopping. Just had a good time overall. I was really enjoying shooting different old-looking things and things with unique texture, until I saw these really beautiful purple flowers that were being backlit by the sun, and I decided to shoot a couple different frames of that and just really try and capture the beauty. Then we headed off into Acadia. Alright, so we are in Acadia National Park, heading towards sunset right now, and right down in the valley here, I've got this beautiful, beautiful patch of like fiery red trees that I'm going to shoot on some Provia 100 slide film on the Bronica. I absolutely love how these backlit portraits of Claire came out. As we were driving, I saw the light falling very interestingly on this group of trees that was hanging over the road. So we pulled off. I shot a couple shots there. I do know that these images look a little too dark. Okay. Nice. We'll come back to that. And we arrived at Jordan's Pond. I was super excited to shoot here. Jordan's Pond. Hopefully we'll get something nice. Very pretty. Okay. So we're out here shooting Jordan's Pond. It's a beautiful, absolutely beautiful scene. Shooting on the Bronica using some Provia 100F and the 65mm to get like a nice wide view. So let's drop that down to 1/60th. See what that looks like. So beautiful. I know. Okay. Oh, we've only got like 3 more shots on this before we hit the load film. You know what, I'm gonna finish off this roll and then we can put a roll of Kodak Gold in, because Kodak Gold might look gorgeous on this. Last shot. All right, so we're on to Wednesday, day 4. Yesterday was really fun in Acadia and Bar Harbour. We didn't get as many photos as I wanted, but we had a really good time. As we were leaving, though, we got this really beautiful scene of like the orange moon rising, reflecting across the ocean. So some of those photos coming right here. Absolutely gorgeous, absolutely beautiful. That was definitely a highlight. But day 4, we're off to get some coffee, figure out our day. We're probably going to make it a low-key kind of adventure day, taking some photos. So come on, we don't really have a plan today. Let's go. I always have to take a photo of an interesting electrical box. It was so good the first time we got it, we stopped by McSeagull's for lunch again. After lunch and spending a bit more time in Boothbay taking photos, we headed back to the resort to take advantage of some of the amenities. First, we did some cornhole and very quickly realized that we were not any good at it, although it was fun. But then, the real competition began. So as the evening progressed, we wanted to capture some beautiful light and take some photos, so we headed to the Hendricks Head Lighthouse. The scene was beautiful and the light was beyond fantastic. We loaded up some Provia 100F in the Leica and just captured some shots as the light changed. As the light got better and better, we took the Bronica out and started firing off some shots of Hendricks Head with the Bronica. I found that I was constantly using the 180mm lens on the Bronica. That focal length was just so perfect for the scene, for the lighthouse itself, and just for capturing the subject in a more intimate way. The light was fantastic and soft and pastel-y, and I loved every shot that we were getting. Shooting some Provia 100F. Beautiful, just after sunset. We're getting these beautiful pinks, yellows, blues, just beautiful light. Shooting at f8 on the Bronica. I got the 180mm on there, so the frame is beautiful. I'm shooting at f8 1/4 of a second, so obviously using a cable release here. Spectacular. I love the heron on the edge of the frame. Like, everything about this composition is beautiful. I kind of wanted to get a little bit darker so I can get some more motion in the water.
It's a lot of mosquitoes.
It's a lot of mosquitoes.
Bunch bites.
The thing I like though is Provia 100F, from talking about low light photography, does not suffer from reciprocity failure until your exposure exceeds 2 minutes. At least according to the reciprocity calculator I use. That is not from personal experience or experiments, but I just wanted to get to like 1 second maybe. Alright, so I don't have the right size filter with me, but this will cover the lens. It's large enough. It's 67mm, it's an 82. I'm going to hold this in front of the lens, and this will get me, according to the meter, a 1 second exposure, which is going to get some nice movement to the water. 1 second. I hope that fired correctly. It didn't sound like it fired correctly. That didn't sound like a 2 second exposure. Did that sound like 2 seconds to you, or did it sound like it was firing too fast?
It sounded fine.
It didn't sound like 2 seconds at all. I don't think this is firing at the right speed. Is the battery there? No, battery's not there. I don't know. Let's get out of here. To close out the evening, I shot a couple images of the lighthouse with the Canon EOS R, using the 1.6 times crop factor to just get it even tighter on the lighthouse. Shooting the lighthouse, I noticed something. Okay, one second. I'm gonna make this a lot more streamlined and quick. So basically, I determined that there was something amiss with Bronica. I didn't catch on to it at first, and essentially at the lighthouse I realized that it wasn't shooting slow enough when I was trying to drag the shutter. This started happening back at Jordan's Pond as well, and I just didn't catch on to it. The camera was shooting at 1/500th of a second for every single shot, so I had 4 rolls of film that I wasn't sure if anything was going to come out. Obviously, a chunk of photos did. We also did lose a good chunk of photos. Probably got about 60% of the rolls. What had happened was The viewfinder that I purchased for the Bronica was for the SQAI, and for some reason, it was pushing into a pin on the body of the camera that was locking the shutter. It wouldn't allow me to adjust the shutter. Once I took the viewfinder off, everything worked fine, but it did cause us to lose a good chunk of images. Yeah. Oh, the life of a film photographer. When we woke up on Thursday, day 5, we were greeted by this immense and beautiful and mysterious fog. You could barely see. It was so thick and so dense that it just created this very unique and beautiful atmosphere. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I was actually extremely excited and hopeful that we would get a situation like this going to Maine. I really wanted an immense and deep fog as we experienced in our trip back in 2022. When I saw the fog that morning, I was so excited. We pulled the Leica out, pulled the Bronica out, loaded up our film, and we just ran to Boothbay Harbour. I needed to take a bunch of shots right on the water, just seeing the fog and seeing what we could capture. And this was the reason I was so excited to shoot in the fog. This was one of my favorite photos from the entire trip. Just the painterly style, the impressionist kind of look to the shot. I do wish that the butt of the boat in the foreground to the left of the frame wasn't in the shot, but that's such a small little nitpick. That's very, very pretty. Let's see here. Shooting in the fog, we finished up a roll, and so I pulled it out, licked it like an envelope, sealed it shut, took out the next roll, and we loaded up a new film back, a new film roll, ready to shoot. As we were leaving Boothbay Harbour, I saw this really unique shot that Claire loves. I'm kind of indifferent to it, but I fired it off on the Bronica, and it's nice. I don't know, nothing super special to write home about.
Hello.
Hi. Did you turn off the car?
Yes.
Where's the keys?
In the car.
There's this really cool bridge leading towards the resort, and I really wanted to shoot it, especially with the fog. It was so beautiful and serene, but kind of had this look or feel of like a 1980s like horror film, just this mysteriousness and this kind of foreboding.
Michael's trying to get us killed. I said Michael's trying to get us killed. We're gonna get hurt. Oh yeah, gonna get hurt.
If you all like Claire's little jingle right there, just a little explanation. Claire called this bridge the very shaky bridge, and she didn't like going on it. Every time the cars hit it, it vibrated and shook a lot, which I get it. But the song is amazing.
Did I give you the keys?
Yeah.
Okay.
Shooting the bridge was spectacular, and shooting the water right around the bridge just was some of the most beautiful shots. I found myself particularly drawn to this red boat anchored near the bridge that just looked beyond spectacular in the fog. And I shot that a bunch with the Leica and with the Bronica, different lenses, the 6x4.5 back, the 6x6 back, and just, I loved this boat. This particular shot of the boat was probably my favorite. The square composition just really lended itself to the shot. The format just served the boat better and just really made it stand out as a unique image. Day 6, we woke up, got ready, and it was another extremely foggy day. So we went back to the bridge because I wanted to just kind of keep shooting it. I had a lot of confidence in what I had taken before, but I just wanted to see how the fog would change and what different compositions we could get. I shot much more heavily on the Leica this time. I wanted to kind of experiment with the 40mm, the Voigtlanger lens on the Leica, and just get a little bit of a different look, a little bit of a wider look, not anything as tight. After we had our fun at the bridge, Claire and I headed back to Boothbay Harbour. It was spectacular and surprising to see that the fog was even thicker. It was harder to see further out onto the water, and the visibility was just dramatically lower. Once we got to Boothbay, we stopped off and grabbed some coffee and breakfast. This lox bagel was so delicious. I also fired off a couple quick shots of Claire using the Leica mini zoom. It was kinda spooky, but beautiful at the same time. In the fog, I felt like I was just exploring a mystery with my camera. I shot a lot of this on the Leica using Provia 100F, and that film emulsion kind of plays up blue tones more, which just kind of added this cool tone to the fog images that's just beautiful. I pulled out the Bronica because I saw this bird, this double-crested cormorant, sitting on one of the buoys in the water, and I just loved the isolated exposure. I loved the composition, the bird just sitting there. Center framed it, loaded up the 180mm on the Bronica, and fired off this shot. I love how this came out. I don't know what this boat is, but this shot looked so spectacular in the fog. The entire time we were in Boothbay, I just kept shooting this building, this shack that was right off the footbridge in the harbor. In the fog, it was no exception. I had to do it again. After we finished shooting at Boothbay Harbour, it took Claire to get some ice cream at this really, really adorable shop that just does their own ice cream. It was a very fun, enjoyable time, and the ice cream was delicious. After we finished our ice cream, we were off to Hendricks Head Lighthouse. I love how these shots came out. I did a shot with the Leica mini zoom, so just kind of experimenting with a little point and shoot and seeing what we got there. Then I shot with the Leica M4 and love this shot. But then I think my personal favorite was the shot with the Bronica. It's just getting in tighter and making the shot a little bit more intimate just was beautiful, and the fog on the lighthouse was just such a cool experience. We closed out our evening with a delicious dinner. Day 7 came. We woke up, packed up the car, got everything ready, and began the 9.5-hour drive home. Alright guys, Claire is back for the wrap-up. So, we just want to take a moment and just do like a quick little like summary recap. So, yeah. I'm gonna start with you. Sound good? Alright. Top 5 favorite photos.
Alrighty. Top 5 favorite photos. Number 1 would be the really pretty picture of the sailboat on the water. Okay. Number 2 would be the gorgeous shot of the Milky Way. Number 3 would be the pink magenta shot of the sunsets. 4 would be the blue hour shot of that sunset. And I think number 5 would be the sunset at Acadia.
Okay.
All the sunsets.
All the sunsets. Well, and then Starry Starry Night.
And then the star.
All right. Okay, for me, top 5. First, I will agree with you. I really did like that picture, the blue light hour, the boats on the water. Loved how that came out. That's definitely going to be one of my top 5. Shot a lot of the Hendrix Head Lighthouse, but I think that there's one in particular that stands out to me. Shot with the 645 back. I just absolutely love it. The little heron in the corner and everything. Just, it's so perfect. 3 for me, probably the impressionist painting looking boat off in the fog, off in the distance. I just love how that shot came out. It's just so moody and beautiful. 4, probably the picture, one of the pictures of Claire from Acadia, the backlit, kind of really dramatic, orangey, fiery portrait, her with her little hat. Love that shot. And last, probably, I gotta go with the red boat on the water in the fog, like off that bridge that we take every day. I like the one shot with the Leica. The Bronica shots came out great, and I do like those, but the one with the Leica just adds so much more atmosphere, and you can just see so much more of the surroundings. It just hits more for me. I just like that one more.
I like that one too.
Okay. Well, let's go into a realm of your favorite things. Favorite food and drink.
Yes. Favorite food and drink. Favorite food, the tacos at McSeagle's, the fried fish tacos. Had those 3 times, I think, in the week.
Yeah.
Incredible. Fave drink, the blueberry mule at Blaze in Acadia.
Okay.
That was the best of the blueberry mules.
I can attest. I sipped that. That was very good.
So good.
Very good.
What was yours?
This is both easy and hard for me because all of the food was super good. Like, it just was all super good. But I got the lobster pasta at Coastal Prime like 2 times.
Mm-hmm.
And my favorite drink was at Coastal Prime, and it would be the Smoke on the Water. I had 2 or 3 of those every time we ate there. Like, that drink, the presentation was amazing, the taste was amazing. That drink, definitely my favorite.
So good.
Okay, let's end it with favorite moment.
Favorite moment would be when we were stargazing on night 2, and it was just so incredibly peaceful and quiet.
I'll take that one. That was wonderful. That was so serene. Just like almost too quiet though. Almost too quiet. Mine probably night 1, I think. Or not, well, first full day, I should say. First full day. We had a fantastic day, and the cherry on top was just the sunset waterside dinner at Coastal Prime. Like, that's probably my favorite. You know, we finished up a roll of film, had some delicious food, and just like it just set the whole expectation and standard for the vacation. I'll give an honorable mention to ping pong. We had that one like 3.5 hour day of ping pong, but then like we played like the next 2 days. It was like 3 days in a row of just hours of ping pong.
It was a marathon.
It was a marathon, and it was amazing, and it was so fun. I'll deviate a little bit. Most stress-inducing moment, flying the drone in the fog. That was so panic-inducing. Like, I can completely understand how and like why people get lost at sea. The GPS stopped working, so the like way home or like the home point wasn't working. And as you could see from the footage, it was so dense you couldn't see the way back. So getting the drone back was nerve-wracking to say the least. But the footage was 100% worth.
Oh, so worth it.
Yeah.
And you didn't lose the drone.
I didn't lose the drone.
So it's worth the risk.
Right? Well, anyway, guys, that's gonna wrap us up. We thank you so much for watching the video. I know it's been a long one, but thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed Maine as much as we did. Drop us a like on the video. Leave us a comment. We'd love to hear from you guys. And if you don't already, subscribe. It means a lot to us and really helps us out. So anyway, thank you so much, guys, and we will see you in the next video. Peace out.